Hello, my name is Seitel and I'm with Salesforce.com. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. It's a beautiful day out, you know, on the way in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I got the chance to look around the building and I must say it's a great environment in here and all of you people are super friendly.
Yeah, I love this company and I love working here. It's a seriously great business.
Yeah, it seems that way. So before we get started, we got 20 minutes today, correct?
That's right.
All right, perfect. I'm not going to try to keep you too long here, but is there anyone else you'd like to have in our meeting today?
You already talked to the general manager, right?
Yeah. I've talked to a bunch of people. I talked to the general manager. They're all super nice. Kind of give me the
Yep.
lowdown
Then
on the business.
then we're good. I don't need anyone else.
Alrighty, perfect. So I'm gonna need to ask you some questions here to fill in some gaps in the knowledge I've acquired in my prep before this
Okay.
meeting. Um, so starting off here, $583 million of annual revenue. That's great.
Yep.
Excellent. So you guys got two areas of clients I've researched, the business clients, Atlanta Braves, Home Depot, UGA, and then more on the retail side of thing is that elementary and middle and high school systems.
Yeah, our company has enjoyed an excellent reputation up to this point, and our diverse clients and customer base really keeps us moving along. Uh,
Yeah. I've
really
noticed that.
proud of those clients that we have and being able to represent them.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. So from what I've gathered, it's become more difficult keeping track and differentiating between both the retail and business buyers and keeping that whole thing organized, especially without your CRM system. Do you
That's
agree?
right. It You're totally right. You hit it right on the head. It's become really tough to organize the business and all of our data and numbers and things like that,
Right.
just because there's no clear way to view it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. So moving along here, you guys have a rapidly growing business, you know,
Yeah,
expanding like crazy.
yeah, we're really proud and we're excited for the future.
hmm Yeah, and especially in this COVID area, I mean, people may or may not be going back to the office, and more people are working remote. And I'm sure as you guys have seen, it's been a huge revenue booster for y'all.
Yeah, totally. We've seen it.
Yeah, and there's a need now more than ever for that home office, right? And those office supplies that come with it.
Right. Everyone's building their home office. I
Yeah,
know. I know. I am.
yeah, I know. Me too. Got to get all the pencils, paperwork, and get your desk cleared off, right?
Yes, sir. But yeah, for sure. Our company as a whole has developed and executed a great home office structure plan at the beginning of the pandemic, and it has truly proven to be successful for us.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's great to hear. So keeping moving here, you got distribution centers in Sandy Springs, Macon, and Nashville right now. And then I also heard from one of your guys that you're establishing a new distribution center in Orlando. How's that coming
That's right.
along?
That's right. We're taking along this next huge project, and we see some real potential in that area. We're
Yeah,
excited for the future.
yeah, I agree. That's huge. That's super exciting. And then I know y'all have enjoyed a 6% revenue increase in 2020 and then an 8% increase in 2021. That's incredible. Hats off. Hats off.
Thank you.
And then now, but you can tell me if you disagree with this statement, but that lack of CRM software right now is going to pose a ton of threats down the road as you all continue to grow and expand.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. I think wanting to this new distribution center and our revenue growth, I think that trying to expand right now is going to be really tough without some better software.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm here today. To hopefully get that right. Uh, so as part of my preparation, I've talked with a couple people in your sales and operations teams, and I've just come up here with a couple solutions here that came up several times, and I've seen the most substantial in terms of their impact on your business.
Okay.
So first one here, we got lack of new client business follow-up,
hmm
and then that
That's
second
right.
one is incorrect customer billings. Do these all make sense to you?
It makes sense to me. The customer billings is such a huge problem. I mean, if you screw up somebody's money, they're done with you. They're
Right. Yeah.
no
You
faster
lose
way.
that customer for sure. And then also, can you think of anything else you'd like to cover today? I know there's a bunch of potential issues here, but these are the two that I seen were the biggest.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Okay,
I don't think
perfect.
there's any other issues that I'd like
Right.
to bring up here.
Alrighty. So now we're going to go ahead and quantify these two big issues. So I mentioned that 8% increase in revenue from 2021. That's great. And then I talked to a couple of people over in your sales teams, and they came up with a number that was something like a 13% increase in new customers, which is amazing. But then you've got a slight decrease of around 3% in returning customers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's huge, and that's a number we probably want to cut down.
Right.
Now, would you say that that's primarily due to not having a true CRM system?
Yeah, we're just not following up with our clients, and they're just pursuing other companies and our competitors.
Right. Yeah, I see. Um, and for the customers you are keeping and following up with, how would you describe how difficult it has been for your employees without that CRM system?
It's been extremely difficult, and it's been super taxing on our employees. They're spending entirely too much time and effort on it. It's salary dollars that could be put towards doing something else that
Right.
could
Yeah, I
further our
agree.
business.
I mean, yeah, you want these guys selling, not really working on the other
Right.
hassle stuff. So now back to the main issue here. I ran some numbers, talked to a bunch of people throughout the company, and I came up with a number of $1.2 million of lost revenue due to this lack of new client follow-up. How does that number sound?
It seems a bit high. Do you think we could bring it down a bit? Just be a bit more reserved in our estimate.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
maybe
What number were you
maybe
thinking?
maybe more like 1 million
1
instead of
million?
1.2.
All right, we'll go ahead and write that one down. So 1 million, $1 million are being lost in this problem alone. That's still huge, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge problem. If the customers don't feel like they're being engaged enough, they lose trust and ultimately go to our competitors.
Right. And no company wants that.
Right.
And then also no customers don't want to feel like, they've been forgotten. That's an easy way to lose business, right?
That's totally right.
Right. So now for our second, the second issue we talked about, the incorrect customer billings. So I ran some numbers again. I talked with Bobby down in Sandy Springs, and I came up
Great
with
guy.
around $650,000 of lost revenue that comes from the incorrect customer billings and the consequences that come from that. Does that sound reasonable?
I think so. I think that sounds right.
Yeah. So perfect there. So that brings us to a total of almost $1.6 million in lost revenue on only two of the biggest issues associated with no CRM system. So I estimate another $400,000 that's lost, split amongst the rest of the smaller similar issues. So you're looking at a total of almost $2 million in lost revenue that could easily be avoided with just a CRM system, you
That's
know?
insane. It's kind of crazy to see it quantified like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when you put it this way, nobody wants to lose $2 million, right?
Right.
Perfect. So now that we've talked about these problems and, we've both come to that agreement, these are just eye-opening issues, especially with the booming businesses like y'all have. I'd like to switch over to talking about specifically how having a CRM system would really be beneficial for y'all.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, perfect. So I know some of your major competitors, like Staples, for example, have implemented a CRM system and they're using it to find new customers. They're following up with the existing ones, and they're keeping all of their customer data, which I'm sure is gold for your sales reps. They're keeping all that organized and in one place. Do you potentially feel behind these competitors because of this?
I never really thought about that until now, but yes, that is an extremely valid point.
Right. Yeah. And you don't want to be behind them. Everybody wants to be in front of the competitors. Leading the market share and all that.
Of course.
Um, so going off of that, currently, what are your sales reps spending most of their time doing?
I think without a CRM system, our employees are just constantly running tedious reports and spending immense amounts of time and energy on tracking customer information, which is just all over the place across the board. It's extremely unorganized and it's not consistent in any way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see that's a huge hassle. Um, so here I'm gonna read you off a number here. So on average, sales reps spend 64% of their time on non-sailing tasks. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. More than half of the time is spent on tasks that may not even be part of their job description, right? So, that's not good. And we as a company here at Salesforce, we believe this number should realistically be more like 10%. Now imagine with just, a product like ours, they didn't have to spend that time and effort. They could spend all their time focused on selling, the product. And for y'all, it's office supplies. So imagine how much your revenue could grow.
That's incredible.
Mm. And then in addition to that, it really doesn't even take into account the fact that I'm sure your employees are very frustrated and unhappy with this old system.
Yes, yeah, they totally are.
Yeah, so I was just talking to Roger over there. Let's just say he was very happy to see me here to pitch a new alternative. So now we're talking about the fact that they're having to do more non-selling tasks, but it's also probably not maximizing their productivity when actually doing the actual selling tasks on a day-to-day basis. Due to them being unhappy and stressed with this old way of doing things, they're not maximizing their potential there when they're actually
Right.
on it.
I hate that for them, and I hate that for us. I think we could do a lot better.
Yeah, no, for sure you can. So just a little checkpoint here. Do you have any questions about anything we've discussed up to this point?
I don't think I do. I totally understand why having a CRM system would benefit our business, and I would love to see what specifically Salesforce has to offer so far as a CRM system and the benefits that go along with it. And then in addition to that, obviously I want to hear the costs associated with it. What's it going to run me? What's the
Yeah,
hurdle?
for sure. We'll get to that. Everybody wants to know the cost, right? That's
Right.
the big thing. So first, let's get right into what we have to offer. So first off, Salesforce is completely personalized to your business, and that's one huge difference between us and our competitors. So first, talking about those existing customers. So with Salesforce, your employees will have an individualized dashboard that'll be extremely easy for sales reps to quickly locate customer information and develop those follow-ups. So there'll be no more wasting time and effort on tracking down that information. It's all completely conveniently stored in one place. And it even generates task lists and overdue task lists to make sure that no client is forgotten about.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
then for those new customers, Salesforce offers intelligent alerts about the best leads. So, we offer lead generation tools, and sales reps can receive these alerts about potential clients who may be interested in office supplies in this case. So this saves the sales reps time and energy normally wasted on faulty leads, and that they didn't even have any desire in the first place. It's just wasting time and ultimately wasting money. So Salesforce actively generates these promising prospective clients that your employees are definitely going to want to reach out to.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's great. And then on the business side of things, you'll be able to see real-time reports of how the business is doing. And then our intuitive workspace helps your salespeople be as productive as possible. So as a manager, you're going to be focused on things like employee productivity and how the overall business is growing. So these things are easy to see with reports in Salesforce. You can run a report, you can see what your employees are doing, who they're following up with, who they're not, make those changes. And then the
Um,
last thing that I'll mention, is of course our mobile service. So with our product, sales reps can find and obtain information from just their smartphones. This is perfect for the sales reps who wants to check in on a client, while he's on the move. It's great.
yeah,
And just imagine how all these cool features will grow your revenue. And when these increased sales lead to explosive growth for your company, you'll already have the infrastructure in place as you scale.
that's awesome.
Do you have any questions about what Salesforce can offer you?
No, it all seems excellent. Everything definitely seems more effective than the Excel spreadsheets and the notepads and the emails that we're currently using. What about the user friendliness?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything is extremely easy to use. All of our staff is very well trained. And, as part of that implementation process, if we move along with this, they'll give training sessions to give your salespeople the information they need to be successful with our system.
Wow, that's amazing. I know some of our people are dinosaurs, I like to call them.
Yeah,
They're
no,
not
for
the most
sure.
tech savvy.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about our company. Our company gets that. We've made it a priority to be super easy for you. And once they understand the benefits as well, I mean, they won't be able to get their hands. They won't be able to wait to get their hands on this new software, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure if we were in person right now, you'd be showing me a demo of the
Yeah, for
Salesforce.
sure.
But I've got the link that you sent me right here. So
Yeah, so I sent you a link, with just a demo, dashboard and all that. Feel free to click through it,
yeah,
all that. Yeah, I do wish we were in person. I could sit on the same side as you and show you around. But
of course.
this will work right here. So now that you know about, all these great features that we have, if you're ready, we can move forward to what it's all going to cost.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so we have two pricing structures that I'll go into a little bit of detail of. So we've got, just the basic one, and then just the one that I recommend for you, which is the professional plan. So the basic one, runs about $25 per month per user. It's billed annually. And then that professional one, which is the one that I think y'all should get, the number goes to $75, the same per month per user, and it's billed annually as well.
Okay.
So I ran some numbers here, and then I estimated you would need roughly 152 subscriptions. Does that sound like a pretty good
I think
estimate?
that, yeah, that's a good estimate.
Yeah, and I know y'all are always growing, so if that number changes,
Of course.
numbers may be a little bit off, but I think that's a good starting point for y'all. So with that number, I estimated 18 subscriptions per distribution center. So you guys have 3 distribution centers, and then 11 subscriptions per retail location. You guys have 8 retail locations, and then an extra 10 for the staffing headquarters. So that gives you that
Yeah.
number of 152. And then I know you guys are building the new distribution center in Orlando, and
Mhm.
we can easily add those on as well.
Okay.
So that 152 subscriptions, that comes out to approximately $136,000. Give
Okay.
or
That seems like a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, yeah, I know it may seem that way, but referring back to my earlier numbers that I showed you, you know, would you only spend $136,800 to save almost 1.5 million in lost revenue? Seems like a great opportunity that I think you guys should go after.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So yeah, I really do think Salesforce can really take your company to the next level, and I hope I was able to demonstrate that. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. So, how do you guys feel about this? You guys have any further questions?
Yeah. Great. I love the product, and I love to see what next steps look like.
Sweet. I'm thrilled to hear all that. So I can email over a contract after this meeting ends, so that you can review it with your legal teams and all that. And whenever you're ready, no rush at all. You send it back to me. We can get the implementation and training process started for your business.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your meeting today.
Yeah, no, thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Of course.